Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Besotted Brain, where we like to celebrate our Earth Day by talking about plants that want to fucking murder us. My name's
Murder
Chris.
plants. My name's Sam.
I'm Grace.
All
No
right,
Stacy.
and no Stacy today. We're a little sad about that. We miss you, Stace.
We're calling her out in a good
yeah.
way. Like, we miss you.
Yeah, and I guess we're not doing the weird diseases thing anymore, are we?
I mean, we could.
Yeah.
Totally could.
You know what? It's the mushroom she ate.
It is the
It's that
mushrooms.
it's that Ophiocordyceps that she ate that's causing her to act all kinds of weird stuff, man.
It could be the deadly nightshade in the backyard.
It may be. You know,
Who slipped the nightshade in her drink, huh?
Oh man. I have so much to say about
my
nightshade. Actually, not even about the plant as much. Anyways, go ahead, Chris.
No worries. But yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. It's good to be back. Again, Stacy, we miss you. We hope you can join us for another time. In fact, we do plan on doing a Star Wars one in honor of Star Wars Day pretty soon. So please tune in for that. But I guess we should go and get started into what we're drinking, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Sam and I, you got the same beer, right, Sam?
Oh, you're drinking the same beer as I am.
Hell yeah, I am.
God.
We got the Black Lotus Coffee Stout. Got this from Metro, the Metro gas station.
Okay.
And this is actually a pretty damn good coffee stout. And in fact, I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's just like dark. It's a tiny bit bitter, but it's also got a nice round flavor to it. It's really good.
You know what I really like about this is it has like a whole flavor profile on the back, like
Yeah.
a fact sheet.
You know, I was kind of cheating and looking on the back a little bit.
It's like it's a very malty, 5 out of 5 malts.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of hops, a little bit of yeast, very malty. Mm-hmm. I'm an expert at beer. Yes.
It tells you what grains are in it.
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's really. I just had my first swig. It's really good, Chris. I don't know if it's 4.75 good, but it's. Yeah. I actually like the s'mores one. Have you tried the s'mores one yet?
I have. Actually, yeah. You gave that.
Oh yeah,
to me.
You tried it at the party.
Yes, we did. And
is that one
this?
Is it a nitrogenated beer or is it just a?
No, this one's just a regular beer. It doesn't have any nitro in it. But it's from First State Brewing Company, which let me see, where's it from? Oh, looks like a doggo wants to join in.
There's a squirrel in the yard, so you know, everybody must lose their damn.
Them freaking squirrels, man. It says Delaware, USA, in Middletown. Oh, and it also adds in here Middletown, Delaware, USA, Earth. Good to know it's made on Earth. I love it.
I would be far more impressed if it were not, but you know, whatever, we'll take it, right?
Listen, I'll take outer space beer.
Right?
I'm down.
All right, Grace, what are you drinking today?
Oh, gin and tonic.
It
has been that kind of a day, guys.
Yeah.
Gin and tonic.
This week hasn't been terrible. You know, yesterday I feel like we're coming out of the complete shit show of March, right? And then like April's been kind of a little bit of a shit show, but like intermittently. So like I'll have like real good days and then it'll be like a shit show on another day and I'll be like, oh my God, please just stop.
Yeah, March sucked. Like the first half of April for me sucked. And then now these past couple weeks, now that I finally have a job, yay. It's been so much better. I actually make some money and I can actually enjoy myself for once. So
awesome. You know, I got new ink this week, so I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, you want to show that? You want to show that?
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get a show off, but it's right here. But it's a shout out to Rhodes and Priscilla. We all got coffee related tattoos. Mine's a French press. I think I sent you a picture, Grace.
Yeah, I saw. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's the start of the sleeve. So
nice.
Yeah, not quite like Alex's. What was it? It was
death before decaf.
Death before decaf. That's right.
But the coffee, like he had a coffee cup, and in the coffee cup you could see like an image of a skull. So it worked out.
That's well. Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Cool. That is cool. Well, Mercury's back in Gatorade or whatever's happening.
Definitely back in Gatorade.
So we got 3 weeks of whatever that is. But my happy for the week was Earth Day related. And I went and spent like an exorbitant. It wasn't that bad. But I got like 17 new plants yesterday. Because
I saw that. Yeah,
I am a crazy plant lady. So I got 17 new plants and had a blast going and picking them out. I didn't even know there was such a thing as a cat's whisker plant, but now I own one.
Very cool.
And more poisonous plants, because Chris, I don't know if you know this, but I have an entire section in my front flower bed that's nothing but poisonous plants.
So, I don't think I knew that, actually.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Angel trumpets and datura and oleander. And,
we're going to be talking about oleander today.
I bought a nicotina yesterday because it has the beautiful, like, huge dark purple flowers. So yeah, so but I have a poisonous plant section.
Grace, you missed the whole conversation Chris and I had about we can actually just kick off into like what I have, because you mentioned like.
Well, I just have one question before we start though. So Grace, are you kind of known as like the local plant apothecary lady that
I mean,
you just have like an assortment of different plants, both for lethal purposes and both for healing purposes?
Well, sort of, but like I am not the worst. I'm actually a member of a plant group, and it's a plant swap thing. So that's kind of where I got started. And why I have I built flower beds specifically to house my plants that are my, passion and obsession. But like anything else, I deep dive into it and like have to learn everything about the plant and what it does and what it's used for and how you grow it. And
well, why do it half-assed, right?
Right. I mean, if I'm going to do it, but it's the one ADHD fixation that has never left. So if you come into my house, there's like 32 houseplants inside, and they're all different varieties and species of stuff. And like, if I like you, I will give you the plant tour, because, this is who I am. If we don't have other plants, but, I'm like, and this is a this. And then I see people's eyes glaze over and I realize I'm doing it again. And I should
I love it. I actually, I will never grow. We know I'm not going to grow any plants in this house because they just die. But I will talk. You can talk all day about plants. I'll be like, yeah, this is cool.
You need to put another succulent in that 3D printed Bulbasaur you got.
I know. I need to. I also have like a little succulent garden over there, but like, it needs new ones too. It's bad.
That's fine. Next time you come, I'll send you home with $1 billion. I have babies for days.
Oh, you have baby succulents? I love.
Oh, Sam, I can't believe I haven't given you the plant tour. I got to show you. They're everywhere. Everywhere.
It's funny though, is every time I do come over, you do like wax on about a plant. Like there is a plant. Like every time I've come over, the last one was the air plant that was out. I don't know, it looked like a part of a tree.
Yeah, it's blooming.
Oh, is it? You were like, I'm going to send you home with this because you can't kill this. And I'm like, well, you might not.
Listen, you just stick it on a tree. You just stick it on a tree. It grows. It's epiphytic. Whatever.
Yeah. One of my mom's favorite plants that she has, she has like an assortment of plants on the front lawn too. And one of her favorite ones is what she calls, I'm not sure if this is the official name, but it's called a spider plant.
Yeah.
And it just has like those stems that run down the sides and little bulbs at the end.
Even I know what that is. That's
she loves those.
If you clip those off, they make new spider plants. You just stick them in the dirt and they grow.
That's insane.
You could also probably like not kill that one, Sam. It'll take a lot of abuse.
It's pretty low maintenance.
And in fairness, I didn't actually kill the succulents. Like the cat tried to eat them. So it wasn't me.
I mean, cats are good for that.
Yeah, cats are good for eating stuff.
All right. So Sam, let's go ahead and start off with these poisonous plants you have.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about 3, but the funny thing that you said, Grace, that like really hit home for me as I'm looking at this, because I watched a bunch of YouTube videos and then read a bunch of articles and all that other crap. I was like, oh, it is a common occurrence that all of these look really pretty. What is?
Yeah.
So and I'll start with Nightshade, because like the things that I watched all mention this, is that Nightshade is like one of literally probably the most the poisonous plant everyone knows about, right? And the crazy thing about it is it started in Europe and everything, and Asia, and the reason it's over here is because we look at them as like ornamental plants, like we think they're pretty, so we've imported them, and like they're now common in North America because we're crazy and we think they're pretty. So
and Sam was just going on about how this is kind of like the human condition in a nutshell, really. And so I decree that toxic people that we like to associate ourselves with are considered nightshade people, because they're so bad for us, but they're so pretty.
Oh,
they're so bad for us, but they're so pretty.
The toxic shit is pretty. Why is
it? We'll just call it belladonna.
Not wrong.
Belladonna. I like that, actually. That's a lot better. Belladonnas.
Belladonna. You know what's really crazy, and I didn't know this about Nightshade, is that I didn't know it started out as like a berry for whatever reason. I don't know how I didn't know that. And then it becomes a flower, a really pretty flower.
Yeah, and it's like poisonous to everything. Everything.
It looks like a goddamn blueberry.
It does look like a blueberry.
Oh,
but this is the reason why people tell you, like, don't ingest things in the wild. Like, don't pick plants if you don't know what they are, because it resembles something that you could eat. You can eat it. I mean, you can eat anything once.
They did say it's supposed to be very sweet. Like, it is a sweet berry.
I'll be the best tasting piece of death you ever had. God,
yeah, you can eat anything one time.
And the other thing that cracks me up about all the plants that I'm going to talk about is they like directly attack your, like, either your brain or your cardiovascular system. And that is like where it's going. It's like, we're not going to give you a rash. We're just going to mess you up and like take away your autonomy. Grace, I was thinking about you and like how much you hate parasites while I was reading this, because it like takes away your autonomy to the point where like you just stop breathing because your body just is like, I'm not breathing no more. You're not thinking about it. So I'm just going to stop breathing.
Yeah. Well, are you like, and the cool thing about nightshade, or not cool, but like, I see you've got it pulled up, Sam. Tomatoes are part of the nightshade family. So are eggplants, so are potatoes. So there are some people that have like an extreme sensitivity to nightshades, and they can't eat the plants that are in the nightshade family. So no potatoes, no tomatoes, no eggplant, because they have that much of a sensitivity to it.
God, this is why we have you on, Grace. So you just have like a large fount of knowledge.
ADHD fixation. Man, it was
so
a thing.
I'm gonna add to this, Grace, in a very Sam typical way, which is, I don't know if you guys knew this, but when the founding fathers like were here, they thought tomatoes were poisonous back in the day. And so Thomas Jefferson went over to France and they ate tomatoes. So he came back and he was eating them like, you know, like an apple. And people were like, oh my God, you're going to die, because they thought it was poisonous. So thanks to Thomas Jefferson, we actually eat tomatoes in America.
I love that.
Yeah, they actually had to do a campaign for a while to get people to grow tomatoes because there was such a mythology surrounding them that they were poisonous.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah, again, random plant facts, guys.
And mine's like the random founding of the country facts.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys already know this, but apples are not poisonous themselves, obviously, but the seeds contain lethal doses of cyanide. It's freaking insane.
Well, stone fruits too.
Stone fruits in general, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like peach pits, cherry pits, things like that. Yeah, cyanide.
Don't chow on them, guys. The second one I want to talk about is what this one I didn't. It was really. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, guys. Hold on 1 second. I gotta figure out how to share like more than just the tab.
See, this is why Grace doesn't do these things, because Grace doesn't know how.
It's all good.
Yeah, new format. We're just trying to figure things out.
Yeah,
there we go.
You're
haven't had to deal with like the whole visual thing before, but we're actually enjoying it, I think.
Yeah. So this one is white snake root, which I thought was really specifically interesting because on its own it is poisonous and lethal, but most people can kind of identify it and avoid it. Where it gets you is that cows can eat it and it's not poisonous to cows, and then it ends up in milk and then you die like when you drink the milk.
What about in like their meat?
I didn't hear about not about their meat. But specifically their milk, and that's actually, it has to go through. That's why one of the reasons why we pasteurize milk is because of white snake root, because cows will chomp on it and it ends up in our milk. So I thought that was really interesting because I guess there's a whole bunch of plants that like they're poisonous on their own, but like we don't usually have an issue with it. People don't typically die from it, but then they'll get secondhand poisoning basically by other animals ingesting it and us ingesting the animals.
That's wild. That's very pretty,
right?
Yeah. Yeah, so pretty. Let's eat it.
It was odd. Let's eat it. It was odd because like there's a ton of plants that look like this like Queen Anne's lace kind of look that are poisonous. So that's why they're like, basically don't even touch anything that looks like this, because it's either like not poisonous and whatever, you don't need it anyways, or like it's straight up poisonous and you're gonna die. So just
I was gonna
see this in the wild, don't touch it.
Pull up Sam, because there's another one that I thought this was when you first pulled it up. It's called hogweed.
Hogweed.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Okay, yeah, no, and it grows wild in all kinds of places. It is absolutely flat out gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it looks like exactly the same.
And it's also called what? I mean,
cow parsnip.
But the thing is that if you touch it, it will give you chemical burns, like 3rd-degree chemical burns.
Oh shit! Yeah,
and it grows. I think this is the one that grows like 18 feet tall. Like it's insane.
And they're
look at this.
I think I've heard about this one. God.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that looks like a kid's hand too. Poor kiddo.
Yeah, and they're beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous. No touchy the white things.
Oh, this is literally the picture that I saw when I was listening to the video. Was this big like cordoned off, don't touch this, it's bad.
And I think that wild carrots are white too. The flowers for wild carrots, I think, are white. And they're
you're right.
Member of the hemlock family, maybe also will kill you dead. Like, don't eat them. They look like carrots, not carrots. Don't do it.
Oh, they do look the same, right? So all of these, like, don't touch.
Wow.
Just
if you don't,
not worth the risk.
Even if you think it's Queen Anne's lace, just pretend that it isn't. It's clearly wild carrot, hogweed, cow, something, death.
don't oh, it's actually, this is Queen Anne's. It is Queen Anne's lace is wild carrot. I didn't know that. That's actually really interesting.
Really?
We call it Queen Anne's lace in North America, but it's called wild carrots in Europe.
Well, don't eat it.
Don't eat it.
Not good.
And the last one I have is one of the things that Grace mentioned is in her front yard.
Well, that's so gorgeous, but deadly.
So this plays like right into the fact that like we like pretty stuff and we don't care if it's poisonous. We're going to put it out anyways. And this is oleander. And so oleander is one of the most common, like people have it, like it's everywhere. Like you're going to find oleander everywhere because it's pretty. And it is poisonous to touch. It's one of those things that it's just straight up. Do you have to use gloves for this, Grace?
I do. It's one of the few plants that I don't prune at all without wearing long sleeves and thick gloves because the sap from it is even toxic. So it'll give you chemical burns too from having it, and then photosensitivity. So it can like be absorbed through your skin and then cause you to be photoreactive for a while afterwards. So you can get like easier sunburns. But I have two of them. Shit. I have a deep pink one and I have a beautiful like peachy cream one. Freaking love them. They're gorgeous, but they are in the front yard in the poison garden, not the backyard where things are okay to touch.
you know, Grace, I think you should only show your poison garden to people you're not too fond of, But here, right this way, where
just a friendly reminder. Like,
oops, I just bumped you into that bush there. Oh, does that burn? I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna
Grace takes care of toxic people with her toxic plants.
Makes sense, right? It's poetic justice.
Have you ever read White Oleander by Janet Fitch?
I have not. I know it exists, though.
So they did the book and then they did the movie, and how one of the characters kills her ex in a fit of rage is by boiling down oleander and creating a super strong tincture and painting the doorknob with it because it will absorb through your skin. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's one of my favorite books. I mean, for lots of other reasons, but that was the first time that I'd ever like really learned about oleander.
Oh my God. That gives so many people some ideas.
Here's your fun fact. Here's your fun people who poison other people fact. Nancy Drew wrote the books, the Nancy Drew books.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what's her name? It's not Nancy Drew. Who wrote it? Oh
Carol and shit. I used to know this. I read them all. My mom had hers from when she was little. So I read like all of them and then the newer ones that were made.
Right. It's the lady who I'm gonna figure this out, guys. We're going down the rabbit hole. She
Carolyn Keene, I was right. Jesus.
She was a world I like how I don't know her name, but I know her history, which is she was a nurse during World War I, and they used a lot of plants as, good things and not bad things, but they say the difference between medicine and poisoning is the dosage. So,
well,
that's very true.
And speaking of Agatha Christie, also, that is like she did not learn plants because a lot of her characters use poison. She knew about the poisons because of her nursing days, and so when she started writing, that was what she knew. So it was easy for her to use that. But
and the midwife, by the way, was usually the one who also knew about poison as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, abortifacients especially.
Yep.
Sam, for some reason I just remembered a very quirky moment with our old band director back in high school.
Which one?
Mr. Hughes.
Oh man.
Mr. Hughes.
Yeah.
He had this idea, or he presented us with this idea, and I was a freshman. And it kind of like threw me off. I'm like, what the hell are you on about, Mr. Hughes? But he was talking about like how there's a theory that air might actually be toxic to us. It just takes 80 years to kill us.
This is a meme. This is a meme. Yeah. I've seen this one.
Yeah, but at the time, I was just like a 14-year-old kid or 15-year-old kid, and I'm like, mind blown.
Well, I mean, it is corrosive. Like that's why things rust.
Yeah, our body is slowly rusting with every breath we take.
Sam, I can't believe you didn't touch on.
That's why our knees creak and our back hurts all the fucking time.
Were you gonna think I was gonna do hemlock because of the history behind hemlock,
or foxglove? You know that foxglove is what we created digitalis from, which is one of the most common heart medications.
Which is okay. So that was the other. I did go down the rabbit hole. I learned probably about like 20 different plants, honestly. But I picked the 3 that I was like, okay, because here's the secret. I actually want to hear about carnivorous plants. So I was like, I'm going to take like 10 minutes and then I'm going to let everyone talk about really weird stuff so I can get really excited. So you can probably hear about more poisonous plants later from me.
All right. So do we want to get into the fungi with the fungi?
Where's the? I need a dad. Like I need a dad joke thing. Like
I mean, for those of you that are like able to watch us now, right? Chris did the dance before we were ever live. Like, so we would be sitting here and we would be waiting for, the intro to play, and Chris is still sitting there dancing. This is who he is as a person. Yeah. He really is a fun guy.
This actually happens when we're not on camera. This is always
the things that you learn about when we're not on camera. But yeah, whoever put every breath you take, every move you make, I bet you that's my wife. I thought so. Because all I see on here is Facebook user, so it doesn't tell me who it is.
I know.
But thank you so much, Liz. But thank you very much, Liz. That was awesome.
We like it.
So yeah, we're actually gonna. I actually would love to get into fungi because fungi by themselves are just so damn interesting. Like you think of fungi as kind of like a plant, but really they're more closer to animals than you really think. Shoot, sorry, my mouse is.
What's the percentage of DNA that we share with fungi? Like it's a pretty high percentage of DNA that we share with fungi.
We do. I think it's like something like 65%. Let me look.
I thought we share a lot of DNA with like bananas too.
We're pretty genetically close to mushrooms.
50%,
whatever.
50% with fungi.
Yeah. So the way I wanted to talk about it though is give you guys some facts about fungi in general, and then talk about 5 weird fungi that I found online that are just freaking weird, and actually have some health benefits, surprisingly. So I've actually got 7 facts. I actually got it from a website called leaflimb.com, about 16 fascinating facts about fungi, but I kind of put it down into a smaller list. So I don't know if you guys know about like the anatomy of a fungus, but essentially you have like the cap, you have the stem, and then underneath the but what we see above ground is pretty much just like the tip of the iceberg, so to speak, or it's like the fruiting body. And then underneath is like the largest part of these fungi. That's called like the hyphae. The hyphae is like the individual thread. And then when it creates like a whole system of these hyphae, they call it a mycelium. So these mycelium just can grow so large and so long. In fact, the longest hyphae ever recorded is actually 8 miles long. And they found out
Chris, the mycelium actually ends up in Star Trek.
Oh yeah,
random fact. Yeah, Star Trek Discovery talks about the mycelium network and how you can move from one place to another. Anyways, I digress.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. Yes.
And I'll be talking some more about the mycelium in a little bit, but they actually found like the longest hyphae ever recorded is 8 miles long, but they found it within a single teaspoon of dirt.
What?
Yeah. Like it was like that whole little teaspoon of dirt was like mostly hyphae.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Freaking insane.
I think fungus is so cool. Like it really is. It's cool. Like it'll kill you. Also will kill you. But
you will die. It is a murder plant.
The will to live, man.
And going back to the mycelium, which is the networks of hyphae, these networks can grow so large and so vast that they actually integrate with plant roots, and they can actually allow trees to converse with one another in such ways that they can warn each other about like an oncoming threat, such as like some sort of like a bad fungus or like some sort of disease that's like the I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind here.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, it's like that you get stuck on a word and then you just can't move forward. But they warn them about dangers like that, and they can actually like converse with each other in such a way that they can say, all right, we're gonna try and like conserve our energy in such a way that so that they can actually minimize the risk of actually getting infected and spreading it to other trees and stuff. It's really, really cool.
That is neat.
And there's actually like a forest that is composed so much of these mycelium, and all the trees within this forest are just so interconnected. And it's just a really cool, like, just network of organisms. And this guy called Dr. Simard actually coined the term the wood wide web.
Oh,
So there you go.
Awesome.
I know, right?
Oh.
All right. And I don't know if you guys realize this, but I'm sure you guys do realize some of it, but we actually use fungi in everyday things. Like, they're a huge part of our lives, and without them, we probably wouldn't have like half the things we have. But they can be used for fashion with like stonewashed jeans. They're used in for yeast for like bread. Also vaccines. In fact, fungus was like one of the first things that helped advance modern medicine. What was it called? Penicillin. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Yep.
On bread
Absolutely.
Mold.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really helped out medicine a lot. In fact, some of them can be used for monitoring or to moderate high cholesterol and can treat multiple sclerosis. And there's even research into looking into treating cancer with it, which is pretty cool. Legos, as you see on there, actually use enzymes from mold. Camembert cheese, that camembert cheese that we ate a while ago, Sam, uses mold. Sourdough bread, soy sauce, tempeh. Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
I do like some moldy cheese. I'm not gonna lie. You got me with cheese.
Oh yeah. And again, like I said before, fungi have more in common with the animal kingdom, even though they look more like plants. I guess it's probably in the way that they metabolize stuff, because they don't use photosynthesis. They actually need like outside nutrients from like other animals or other plant life in order to survive, like we do. So, interesting thought there. Some fungi are actually used to clean up oil and toxic chemicals, and I think they are actually looking into ones that can clean up plastic waste, which is really cool. One example that they actually in which they used fungus to clean up toxic spills was the Fukushima incident. They actually,
this. You're right.
Yeah, they used fungi that were attracted to radioactive materials. God damn it, excuse me.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, radioactive materials, and they actually used them to clean up the mess a bit. It was really cool.
That is cool. That is really cool.
Yeah, and I'll go back up to that one up there, Sam. They're bioluminescent. Yes,
I've never seen a bioluminescent mushroom.
Neither have I, but it just goes to show you that Fern Gully is real.
Grace, have you seen one of these before?
No, but like now I want one.
I want one.
I
want
How
one.
do I get one?
And I could grow a mushroom, right? Like, it wouldn't be that hard.
You just have to have the right medium.
Yeah, I wonder if you like eat it, if like it would just coat your mouth and you'd just have like a glow in the dark mouth.
I have a question. I know, Grace, I feel like you would have the answer to this. You know, like the fairy rings, the mushroom fairy rings. It's like real, like not the fairy part, but like the mushrooms are real. Why does it do that?
Why do they pop up in rings?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
You keep going. I'm gonna try to go figure this out.
But if there ever is a fairy ring that I come across, guys, and I disappear, I promise you I went to the other side, and I am perfectly fine with it. Like, I'm gonna intentionally go in the ring.
Actually, what I found when I watched Bluey with fairy rings is that if you get inside the fairy ring, you dance until you drop.
What? So, Bluey covers like fairy rings?
There's a fairy episode, yeah. Like one of the kids is disappointed, and then all of a sudden fairies just start doing all kinds of mischief. And there's a fairy. One of their cell phones is in the fairy ring, and Bluey tries to grab it, and she just starts dancing uncontrollably.
Well, that's not as much fun.
Shout out to the parents who love Bluey.
I'm kind of sad that I missed the Bluey stage, because I like Bluey. Like,
you can still go back and watch it.
Chris, the reason why they are grown in circles is because the mycelium network likes to grow in circles.
Oh, interesting.
There you go. That's really cool. Interesting.
Yeah. All right, and last general fact about fungi before I actually get into my 5 weird ass fungi is that some fungi can actually help reverse global warming by trapping carbon in the soil.
I could see that.
Yeah. Yep.
So let's just grow that fungi, man. Just put it all over the place. All right, so let's get into some of the weird and creepy looking fungi. Because while there are definitely some delicious looking ones and some really cute looking ones, these are not ones that are, nice on the eyes. So first one, Sam, look up is Dead Man's Toes.
I love those. They're so cool.
Yeah. So this one is actually a parasitic fungus that actually tends to kill certain trees, and generally fruit trees like apple trees and cherry trees. And it also affects American elm trees, but they literally look like dead man's fingers or toes just creeping out from the ground. There are some that actually look like you can see some peeking out from like underneath a log, and they look like the log is like squishing like some trolls or something,
Here we go.
I love them.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, you'll see them around like a bunch of wood and stuff like that.
I've got like the hocus pocus thing in my head where it's like dead man's toes.
Dead man's toes. You gotta wonder too, though, when you think about things like that, right? Like, were those things named like dead man's toes because they are these things that were put into things that they were brewing? The weird women,
right?
Yeah,
that's what they. I mean, they're not dead woman's toes. I'll say that.
Yeah. Well, I tried to look up like if they had any like medicinal uses or anything like that, but the only thing I could find about them was that they're usually on dead trees and they help to kill dead trees further. Anyway.
Okay.
So the next one, this one just looks creepy as all hell. It's called Bleeding Tooth. I don't know if you guys ever seen this one, but look up Bleeding Tooth. It's essentially just like the cap has a bunch of pores in it, and it looks like they're filled with no,
blood, nope.
Yeah. And what that liquid is actually sap from the plant. And they're non-toxic, surprisingly. As deathly as they look, they are non-toxic. They just taste very bitter and kind of peppery, apparently.
That's freaking disgusting. Like,
I actually saw a guy on YouTube go up to it, and like he was saying, yeah, it's non-toxic. Here, I'll even show you. And then he licked it. He's like, ugh. Would not recommend it, but I'm still alive, as you can see.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that's literally just like sap coming out of the pores of those mushrooms.
I am completely disgusted.
I know.
I can't do blood though. This is like totally grossing me out.
Yeah.
Trypophobia is what the
is real. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Now, as creepy as they look, they actually do have some medicinal uses though. For instance, the sap can be used as a blood clotting agent. So if you're like bleeding profusely and you have one of these nearby, you can just put it on there and it'll help you stop bleeding.
All right then.
And they're also looking into using it as a
for
treatment.
Your blood?
Yeah, right. But they're looking into it as a treatment for Alzheimer's, which is really cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm not sure how, but obviously there's some chemical makeup in there. Yeah. Someone will have to tell us about
I have to get over the look because I'm like,
I know.
Grace, I almost feel like you should put this in the garden just to gross people out.
I don't want that at all.
You keep your poisonous garden looking pretty.
I do, and that's I mean, trypophobia. Like, I don't like lotus flowers, like for the same reason, the lotus pods. Ugh, not a fan.
I'm not sure if this next one will trigger that as well, but look up the veiled lady fungus. Don't just put in the veiled lady because you just get a statue. but which is a beautiful statue, by the way. Like the intricacy of that one is just so gorgeous. But yeah, take a look at this thing.
This is cool.
It's cool, but neat. Yeah.
No, it does not invoke the same like.
No,
I feel like I should bring up real.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because it does have a lot of holes in it.
That's really cool, though. I can see why it's got its name.
Oh yeah,
you're an ass.
I'm grossed out too. I'm grossed out too. It's not good.
So again, this is called the Veiled Lady, and as you can see it, like I'm sure if you look at it at night, it can actually look like tiny little figurines or like marionettes of like a woman in a dress or something, like a woman's dress.
This is what it reminds me of: is the chicken wire.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That's what it looks like.
But these are totally edible, and they're actually used in certain Chinese recipes.
Oh, okay.
It's actually rich in protein, carbohydrates, and dietary fiber, and it also contains various bioactive compounds such as antioxidants and antimicrobial properties.
Those are pretty. I like those. I would grow those.
Yeah, those are edible too.
Like on purpose, grow them.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah, they say if you put them in chicken stock, it makes a nice flavor for it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I'll roll with that.
All right, this next one looks like it comes straight out of hell. I don't know if you'd want to put this in your garden, but it's called Devil's Fingers, and you'll see exactly why. But it usually it's also known as stinkhorn, but it starts out looking like an egg.
Oh, I do know what those are. Those are so cool. They're so cool.
Yeah, but as you can see, it kind of starts out like some egg from Alien, and then it just bursts open into like Hell's vagina.
Dude, this is awesome. This is so cool.
Aren't they neat?
Yeah.
That is because it looks like a legit egg. You know what? I thought it looked like a hell octopus, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there you go.
The hell kraken.
Octopus. Yeah, there you go. I love it. Hell kraken.
The hell kraken. Oh yeah, but this is the worst one because it looks like it has like a little bit of the film over it, like
so alien. So alien. That's
well. Those are cool. This one I did not find any medicinal uses for. And I'm sure the reason why is because when it actually opens up, it emits a smell like rotting flesh.
Mm-hmm. The corpse.
So, oh god, look at that one. That one actually looks like a freaking hand. Ugh. God damn. But yeah,
can you imagine putting that in a grave, guys? Like
that's cool.
When I die, okay, listen. I need you to remember this, Chris, because like when I die. And you guys want to bury me, don't do whatever you want with me. I don't care. But I want this on my grave.
Oh my god!
So it always looks like there's a hand coming out of it.
Oh my god!
And I digress. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's awesome.
You know, how about this? I'll just put like a little an old wooden tree branch and just grow those dead man's toes and fingers for you there.
Oh my gosh! You know what? Like, if you're walking up to my grave and you're like scared, that's a good thing.
We've done well. We've done well.
If
Sam's grave is terrifying.
We're doing good.
All right, and last but not least, I actually did want to talk about the Last of Us disease, the Last of Us zombie fungus.
Cordyceps.
Ophiocordyceps unilaterus, exactly.
We get a normal name? Like, can I get... Oh, found it. Never mind.
The ant zombie fungus, yeah.
Yeah, cordyceps.
That's not it.
Oh, that...
Just look up, like, ant
cordyceps
zombie fungus.
Ant should get you there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the zombie. I've definitely
exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
So this is that same exact thing that they talk about in The Last of Us. Only it's evolved to grow inside humans. Now and of course they actually explain at the very beginning of the series, if you guys have watched The Last of Us, that the reason that it does not invade our bodies now is because our body temperatures are too high, and it can only resist temperatures up to like 70 or 80 degrees or something like that. But because of global warming, there's actually a suggestion that maybe eventually it'll adapt to the point where it can actually withstand our 98.6 degree temperatures and might start invading our brains.
Oh God.
Yeah. But this one is merely
if the AI
parasitic.
doesn't get you, then the fungus is gonna get you.
Right,
exactly.
Okay.
But this one, in case you guys have not already researched into this and could become besotted about it, because I totally was after learning about it in The Last of Us in the video game. But the life cycle of this it's strictly parasitic. There's no like benefit to humans for this thing. It's just out there in the world, just wreaking havoc on poor little ants and ant colonies. So here's how it actually works. So spores, we'll start off with the spores landing unsuspecting on unsuspecting ants in a colony below some overhead growths like blades of grass or like some plants or something like that. So an ant then becomes infected by the spores, then the fungus starts growing, and then it eventually just intertwines with the ant's nervous system and starts hijacking them. And then, of course, other ants start noticing that he's acting kind of weird and kind of isolate him. And then once the fungus has full control of the body, he's like, all right, take me up to a high spot. And so he starts climbing up some blades of grass until he gets to like the perfect spot and does what's called the grip of death, or the pinch of death, in which he takes his claw or his mandibles and just grips into the blade of grass and just dies. And then after that, the cordyceps starts growing even more to the point where it actually explodes out of the body and then releases spores again onto the same colony and then repeats the whole process over and over again. So yeah.
So how long can this ant live with like stuff coming out of it?
That should be a dead ant.
As soon as it grips onto that leaf, it is pretty much dead.
Got it. Oh, and it's like there. It is in the death grips.
Yeah,
the death
that should be
yeah.
a dead ant, because at the time that the cordyceps usually starts to come out of the ant, they're deceased.
They're gone.
Yeah, they're just using their bodies. At that point, the body is just the medium that they need to utilize in order for it to grow appropriately.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I could not even imagine having this on like a sentient creature. Like this actually is very scary.
Yeah, and this is what inspired The Last of Us zombie apocalypse. So you're welcome.
Thanks. That is real.
Nature is lit. I love
nature
it.
Is lit.
There are some crazy things in nature. Like there's even like some bugs that can spew out boiling liquid out of its ass.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do weird bugs next? Is that what we're trying to say?
Oh, listen, the insect world is just the weirdest damn place. Mm-hmm. It's I think nature is awesome and very scary and weird. Crazy. And well, that's fun. You still hate that bleeding tooth thing, Chris. And nightmares about that shit. Thanks.
The bleeding mushroom is not my flavor.
I'd rather deal with the cordyceps.
Yeah, so that one was your worst one,
because it is like a parasite that is growing. Like,
yeah, I would have thought you would have hated that one because
you know what,
you're all about autonomy, you know.
I'll be dead by the time it does something. And ironically, like I didn't wear the shirt. Like I had the shirt on before we decided that we were going to talk about mushrooms. So.
Oh, cool. That worked out then.
That is cool.
It wasn't on purpose, but these are the nice mushrooms, not the zombie ant mushrooms. We'll go with that.
All right. So do we have anything else to talk about?
I mean, mushrooms we could probably talk about all day, but
yeah.
Grace, you can talk about whatever you want. I'm going to listen. You have my full attention.
So, ironically, one of the plants that I wanted to talk about, it has a symbiotic relationship with mushrooms. If you pull up an Indian pipe plant, Sam.
Got it. Oh, give me one.
Guys, there's a gnat like flying around my room. It's tried to fly at my nose twice. So when you're seeing me do this, it's because I'm trying to protect myself from this ant. Or not ant. Damn it. Gnat.
Okay. What is it called? I'm sorry. What did you say again?
Indian pipe plant.
Oh. Is it called the ghost plant on purpose?
Yeah. It can, well.
Ooh.
That's creepy.
What is that?
It is a plant that completely lacks chlorophyll. It grows in wooded areas, but it gets its nutrients from a symbiotic relationship with fungus.
So instead of using photosynthesis, that's how they get their nutrients.
Okay,
that's
so really question: how does fungus generate energy if not through photosynthesis? What is it?
Fungus does it through actual breaking down of like plant and animal matter.
Yeah. So it
kind of like we do.
It eats things.
Yeah,
instead of like we do.
Yeah, it just doesn't have a stomach like we do. They just absorb it through their their mycelia or whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it is parasitic and has that relationship because of fungus. And that's like you'll find it in the the deep dark areas of the forest because it doesn't need light. So it can live in the under canopy of very dense woods, and that's what it looks like. I used to find those out hiking in West Virginia.
Really?
I feel like this is the anglerfish of the forest.
Yeah, one of those bottom feeders. Yeah,
right. Just like you don't find. I've never seen this in my entire life. That's
neither have I.
Yeah,
I don't want to walk up to one of this. Like, could you imagine walking up to something like this and being like, "What the hell is happening?"
And am I still on Earth?
Yeah, they're very the stems are really weird. Like it almost like if you pick a mushroom, like that spongy feeling of the mushroom stems, that's what those feel like. I have always thought they were super nifty.
That is nifty.
So how are they still considered plants?
They are a plant. It's a member of the heather family.
Huh.
So they don't use photosynthesis. They feed off of the fungi that feed off of dead stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's considered a parasitic plant.
Huh.
Like mistletoe.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I thought you guys would like that. I mean, I realize it's not the carnivorous plants, and I know that you guys want to talk about, or you want to talk about that, and that's cool. But I also want you to pull up the corpse flower.
Oh yeah,
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
They are a member of the Amorphophallus species. They are gorgeous, but they smell like corpse, which is why they're called the corpse plant. and they only bloom like once every couple of years. Conditions have to be just right. So when these guys are in museum collections or botany collections, people will wait and wait and wait because that is so rare that they bloom, and their blooms last for a while, and then that's it.
And they smell horrible, apparently.
And a Pokemon was actually inspired by this plant. I don't know if anybody knows Vileplume or.
Oh,
Bloom.
I love Vileplume.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I have Vileplume on Pokemon Go.
Yeah, bring up Vileplume. Do you know which one we're talking about?
There it is. Oh, okay. See? Yeah, well, because I usually think of the one with the big single piece in the middle as opposed to the wide ones, but that makes sense because when I was looking at these, they have the ones that look like that. Those are usually South Asian plants. Yeah,
I mean, and it looks like there's like maybe, super phallic in nature.
By the way, apologies for the crying child in the background. I'm not sure what's going on, but I hope I'm sure Liz has it under control.
Crying children, barking dogs.
Kids gotta cry.
Yeah,
gotta do. Grace, I don't know if I've told you this yet. Here's like a side funny thing since my child is not with me at the moment. Found out that my kid has like some secret YouTube channel.
Oh, what?
What? She has a secret YouTube channel? What is Sophie putting on?
Listen, and I went through them all, so it's all fine. None of her face, none of her, nothing identifying. What she does is she draws like pictures of her favorite songs. Oh. And it's her like looking at the picture with background music, and she's got like, some of them have like almost 2,000 views. Like some of the stuff, I'm like, okay.
I want to watch this.
Right. I will totally send it to you. That or her playing video games like Sonic the Hedgehog.
All right.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Listen, there's people who are obviously into it.
I mean, we have people who listen to us, so
that is true. That is true. Willingly. And tell us we're good sometimes.
Occasionally.
Not just family members, right?
Well, there's some that are not. I'll take it.
So, some of the ones that I have are also smell like death. They are like different species of succulents, and they are from Africa. Some people call them starfish plants because their blooms, or like a lifesaver plant, their blooms look like that, but they are that thing. Oh, you can't see it.
What is this, Grace?
As I'm like pointing at it, I'm like pointing at it to click on it.
Is this real?
That's
I don't
gorgeous.
think so. I don't know.
Is that just a picture that they're offering right there?
No, it's a calancho. Okay, yeah. They are super invasive. It's the one in the middle, Sam.
This one?
Down. Yes, that one.
Right here.
They're stapelias. They're all different varieties of stapelia.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah. So they have, and their natural pollinators are flies. They're usually found in very arid regions. They're a species of succulent, and their natural pollinators are flies. So when they bloom, they smell like dead things in order to attract flies.
I would not want this around for flies. I hate flies. I know they're needed. I know that they're needed to decompose shit and all, but god damn it, they are annoying as hell. Mosquitoes. The one insect I think we could all do without are fucking mosquitoes. Mosquitoes could just die and nothing would happen in the ecosystem.
True.
No, they are a major part of the biomass for lots of different species, including dragonflies. I did the research because I very much wanted them to also all die, but it turns out they're needed.
God, interesting.
Why?
I hate, Stacy's not here, so I'll talk about spiders, but I always feel like spiders are needed.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Did I tell you guys that for a while my kid had one in the bathroom that he named Charlie, and we weren't allowed to like get rid of it?
I love it. I would totally be behind
this. Just like off in the corner of the bathroom.
It was
like, hi Charlie.
It was a cellar spider, so like they usually stay around baseboards and stuff. Mm-hmm. And Charlie was behind the door, and Charlie just hung out in the bathroom.
I have a wolf spider, right? It's a big one, and it peeks out every once in a while, and I'm like, you got to stay, dude, because like I'm cool with you, but the rest of anyone who comes over is not cool with you. So.
Right? Just you can be my little spider bro, but don't.
An orange cat, he's not in here right now, but he loves to eat spiders. So
yeah, well, I wish we could charge spiders rent.
I mean, they do perform some things for us, Chris. They help get rid of some of the bugs in the house. I'd rather have spiders than roaches any day.
That's very true. I'll give you that. Yeah.
But yes, there's like 15, like like thousands of different species, and all of the flowers look slightly different as far as which species of the Stapelia they are. So I've started picking some of those up, and I think I have like three or four different ones.
How cute those are.
Yeah. I have ones out back right now that are blooming and they're deep purple and they're so adorable, but they do not stick your face in it.
I was about to ask you, maybe I should get one, but I'm not going to have that in the house. So
don't stick your face in it. It's definitely an outside plant.
Mm-hmm.
It's an outside plant. I like how you define that. It's an outside plant.
Yeah, that's an outside plant.
Why are plants so weird, y'all?
I know, man.
Like, look at this. It's like a cactus with.
That's the one I've got.
And wait until we actually look at like undersea plant life, because that's where shit gets fucking creepy and weird and shit.
Yeah, I do like some weird.
Stapelias are neat. They're very, very cool, and they have. And while they're a species of cacti, they're not thorny cacti.
Oh, okay.
So like they're not ones that you're gonna like hurt yourself touching, unlike some of the other ones that I have. But yeah, I think they're super cool. And then there's the plants that we eat, and then the plants that will eat us. Well, maybe not us, but the carnivorous plants is a whole other subspecies of plant that is super nifty. So, I mean, we all know that I've talked about like being from West Virginia and how much I loved it. But one of the cool things is that pitcher plants grow natively in West Virginia, the ones that are from the ground, not the ones that hang, because there's multiple species of pitcher plant as well. I also lovingly refer to them as dick plants, because if you if you pull up one of the ones before it, see, okay, in the corner, like before the pitcher is popped, bottom, yep, down.
Oh, not this one.
Nope.
This one. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I can see it.
I can see it.
Before
there
it is. Before the pitcher opens.
It does.
Penis plants.
I love how we have to work in like, here's some penis plants for y'all. Like,
Freud was onto something. We're seeing penises and everything. What
is this? Is a black bat flower? Sorry, I'm getting
No, that is on my plant wish list.
That is really cool. A black bat flower.
Yep. Whoa. There are white ones too.
My gosh. If you grew one of these, that'd be so cool.
I want to grow one of those. But yeah, so pitcher plants, they have the tropical pitcher plants, which typically hang, and then they have ones that actually grow from the ground. They like very boggy, marshy conditions, and there's tons of different species of these. But what they all do, all of the pitchers collect water, and then the bugs go down inside there, and they're sticky around the top, but then the top of the flap drops closed, and it digests the bugs that are inside it. And they like the worst soil conditions ever imaginable. They don't like you can't water them with tap water because tap water has too many minerals. And they have evolved to grow in super shitty, marshy, wet areas with
that's where all the bugs are.
Next to no nitrogen in the soil. So they get their things that they need from the bugs that they eat.
That's
Guys,
really cool.
You want to know what's really funny? You know where you can find these?
Where?
Is at Harry Potter in the one of the ride lines. You can see like it's supposed to be like the herbology area, and they have these carnivorous plants hanging. They're hanging from like the top.
Yeah,
and there's also another Pokemon that was inspired by the pitcher plant too, right?
Oh, which one?
Victory Bell.
Oh yeah, I have that.
Oh, well, that makes sense. But so you can find them in North Carolina. You can find them in West Virginia. Anywhere where they're marshy conditions, you find pitcher plants. I think they're super neat. Everybody kind of knows about the Venus flytraps. Like that's a very common one, but people don't realize that those are also not necessarily tropical plants. Venus flytraps need to have a cool period in order for them to live long and healthy lives. But some of them will get very large. And my mom always had them. I always thought they were cool when I was younger. My mom would have them.
We had one when I was younger too.
And I would like to like poke them because it makes the trap close.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't do that because they only have so much energy that they can expend. So those traps
Makes
are
sense.
the traps are only good for a couple of closures on those bugs. So each time you cause that plant to expend that energy and it doesn't have the reward, you're actually killing it. So don't poke your Venus flytraps, guys.
Yeah.
But
Well, all this makes me think of is like, feed me, Seymour.
Yeah.
This honestly,
Feed
this is exactly what I was like. You know what? I have a feeling this is what Grace should like be for Halloween one year.
One of these days, I'm doing poison ivy for sure.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
I've been trying to get Liz to do poison ivy. Actually,
this is the kind of plant I would have in the backyard, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
The piranha plant.
Audrey too. But no, I love them, and they also like again swampy, marshy conditions. Same thing. Super crappy soil. Can't water them with tap water. All of the carnivorous plants are like that. I don't know if you've ever seen a sundew. SUNDEW.
Oh, interesting.
Kind of reminds me of like an alien.
Yeah.
They're all kind of alien-esque.
Yeah.
So like, do you have like an alien area too, like where it's just weird ass looking plants, Grace? Because I think this should be like.
So do those tendrils have like something sticky on them that attracts the flies, and then they just wrap around the flies and slowly bring them in?
Yep.
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
I think they're so neat, but they're so beautiful. I mean, they really look like that, but they are absolutely gorgeous. And those are also sometimes like it's almost like glue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, look at that fly. Oh my gosh, she's being pulled in multiple ways. Oh my god.
That's like fly torture, guys.
Yeah.
Help me! Help me! Nope, and
it's
they're super sticky. Another really cool one is it's called a cobra lily.
What's it called?
Cobra lily.
A cobra lily. Okay.
Oh. Like
so another kind of pitcher plant?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
It's another one. So the way that they're set up, because they have the translucency in the windows of the plant. So when they fly down in there, they have the
I was like, this is a real plant?
No. Don't buy plants off Etsy, y'all.
Oh god. There you go. Race
so
advice.
Translucency at the top, you said?
Yeah, so they have the translucency in the leaves of it. So the whatever it is that goes in flies in, and then they think that they are escaping because they're following the light, and instead they're just getting deeper inside the plant.
Oh,
you see why they're called a cobra lily?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
They do look like
devious as hell.
I mean, my kid absolutely loves carnivorous plants, which is why I learned about carnivorous plants. And now that I have the pond in my backyard, we were actually talking today about he wants to go and set up the bog spot so that he can have his carnivorous plant patch again.
I know that like we're not supposed to buy things off of Etsy, but this is a wild freaking plant.
Okay, so we don't do that because Etsy will lie to you about what things are real and what things are not.
Okay,
find something that you like on Etsy. Go to an actual like botany site and make sure that this thing exists, because otherwise you're getting seeds for like nothing.
Yeah, they'll give you like tomato seeds.
I say that's a passion flower. Like, I don't even need to read it, and I can tell you what that one is. That's
you're right. Oh my gosh, they're like kind of real though.
Yeah, I bought one yesterday.
Oh my gosh. Okay, those are pretty.
Yeah.
They host Gulf fritillary butterflies.
Know about butterflies too?
I have a butterfly garden, Samantha.
That's awesome.
I have a whole section of my yard dedicated.
Listen, guys, I go to Grace's house and I get distracted by the books. Okay, to be fair, because there are books like everywhere.
I wonder if you can like charge people to go through your butterfly garden, like the Gainesville National History
We need to bring
Museum
Grace to that. She would love that.
Yeah,
I do want to go to that. I very much do. But I have porterweed, which is a huge butterfly plant. I have lantana, which is poison, but also is, butterflies love it for its nectar. So it's in the butterfly garden. Just don't eat the lantana. I have giant milkweed and then various different types of milkweed, because those are what host monarch butterflies.
Okay, so the lantanas, when I was a kid, we used to have like 2 bushes of these crazy things right here.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they look like right here.
Yeah, they're so cool.
I just, as a kid, you just think that they're kind of magic. So I can't tell you how many things like we like got off the bush and were like pretending it was potions or something.
Yeah.
Listen,
I have a whole butterfly thing. I also have different species of cassia, and those host sulfur butterflies. One of them is called a popcorn cassia, and it's called. I mean, this is not completely out of the realm. It's called popcorn cassia because when it blooms, in one stage of the bloom, it smells like popcorn.
Oh,
and in another stage of the bloom, it smells like peanut butter.
Oh wow,
that's cool.
I kind of want that now.
It kind of looks like buttery popcorn.
Yeah.
I also have a candlestick cassia that
Port St. Lucie, like Botanical Garden.
I have.
That's awesome.
I have these. Yeah,
it's everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah, I have two different species right now, and then seeds for another one.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but yeah, those are actually native to Africa, I want to say.
And then I guess they grow in the cold too, like Minnesota.
Yeah, but they're annuals there.
Oh, okay.
Here they'll get to be enormous.
Wild.
But they're annuals there.
They look like straight up popcorn. It's weird to me when things look like something and also smell like something that they're not. That is odd.
Yeah, but you should not eat them because ingesting those is definitely a bad plan as well.
Oh. How did you find out?
because I do research when I get new plants. I do research. I sit down and I figure out what it is, what it needs, where to grow it. Also don't eat this or you can eat that. Like nasturtiums, you can totally eat those. You can eat marigolds. Don't eat nicotine flowers. They're beautiful. They're poison. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, carnivorous plants. But most of them, like I said, that most of them just really like boggy things. They like to be where the bugs are, but
makes sense. Yeah,
they like, and that's how they function. But there's all kinds of different subspecies. Like there's butterwort, which also has like broad, flat leaves, and it has sticky leaves, and things walk on it, and then the plant secretes digestive juices onto its leaves and decomposes the bugs.
Yeah, but it's cool looking. Yeah, pretty.
What is this?
Butterwort.
Man, it looks almost It almost looks mathematical in some of these pictures. Like it just looks very symmetrical, and like it actually looks like they were almost crafted by somebody.
Yeah, and there are like entire subreddits devoted specifically to carnivorous plant growing, and so I obviously spend a lot of time lurking in those places too.
Awesome. I like that, Chris. You went to the math thing, Fibonacci and the golden ratio.
Yeah,
I was like,
the golden ratio. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
We have waxed on for like an hour about plants.
Listen, I'm telling you, like I could literally do this for hours because it is one of my favorite things to do, and it's where I get soothed by going out in my yard and doing fun stuff with plants. So, which is what I'm going to do after this because I got half of the ones I bought yesterday planted and the other half not. So they got to get in the dirt before they die in the Florida heat. But
Chris, you would like to know I have done the opposite. I have organized my Magic the Gathering collection this weekend a little bit.
Nice.
Sweet.
Like the complete opposite. On the floor Indian style, like scanning cards.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'll have that card or that tray organizer for you coming up next week or so.
That's gonna be awesome. We had a game night this last Wednesday. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, I got brutally murdered multiple times.
We both got brutally murdered twice. Call out to not us. Neither one of us won.
Yeah.
We did go down in flames this time. Well, the first one we went down in very slow burning flames.
Yeah, it was not fun. But anywho.
Next time we're going to be talking about Star Wars, I believe, because we've got May the 4th coming up, but I think we'll probably return to bugs and
May the 4th. Is this the right symbol?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to talk about Star Trek, guys, I can do that all day. I can do Star Trek all day long. I have never intentionally watched a Star Wars movie, but
Grace has only seen The Mandalorian, and that's an interesting way to start the Star Wars.
Yeah. It's a great show, to be honest.
I mean, I've caught like pieces of it in like different whatever, because obviously it's iconic and a lot of people really love it. But I've never sat down and watched from beginning to end any Star Wars anything other than The Mandalorian. So.
I feel like it's very, Grace is gonna watch A New Hope, and the writing is what the writing is.
Well, I think even when it was being filmed, like it wasn't even finished. so there was a lot of gaps to fill. Of course, there's a lot of films that actually end up like that. Like Pulp Fiction, I think was one of them, and ended up being like a well-liked film.
Do you know what they call a quarter pounder and cheese in Canada? Quarter pounder with cheese in Canada?
What?
A Royale.
In France.
A Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese, yeah.
Royale with cheese. Oh my gosh. Guys, I want to give you an update on Duolingo just for the hell of it because it's funny to me. I have done really well. I have placed first or second in every single league, and there's like 10, I think, until this last one, and I am number 16 right now because there are people who live, breathe, and eat learning a different language, and I am not one of those people, but I am getting along in my French.
Oh yeah,
well. Awesome.
Orange cat. Orange cat. Oh, he's playing. He's playing with something. He's like, screw you guys, I'm playing. He did come earlier. He just didn't step on any of the keys.
All right. I think that's hour and 5. Ooh.
Hour and 5. We'll see you guys later this week. We're gonna, I don't know when we're hopping on, but we'll be hopping on. Chris, I'll let you end, but I want to say, guys, we're doing this new format for those of you that are listening to us on Spotify or Amazon Music or Apple Music, whatever you're listening to us on. We are doing a format where we're actually broadcasting live, and then we are uploading the audio later. And right now, I would say that we're about a week and a half, 2 weeks behind on those platforms. So, tune into Facebook, our Facebook group, The Besotted Brain, if you want to see us live and don't want to wait. That's how you can do it.
Absolutely. And we've been enjoying this new format too. I mean, it's just
not all of the we are enjoying this.
Well, Grace is like, I don't know about this yet.
We are playing along.
We love seeing your face, Grace.
Well, on here, 2/3 of us are enjoying it because while we have been able to see each other for the previous formats, you guys have not been able to see us, and now you guys can see my crazy dancing in the intro every single time now. So that's great.
And we, feel free if you're not watching us live, which, we're not even announcing what time we're going live or whatever. We're
because
just
none of us know what in the hell we're doing ever from day to day. It's like,
hey,
anybody got time to record? Yep, let's go.
Let's go. That's exactly how it went down today.
Yeah, pretty much. We've just been kind of going with the flow. It's been all kinds of crazy. Like we said, March was hell. April is less hell, but it's getting better. So.
Right. And Chris and I have birthdays in May, so I refuse to have a bad May. So that's
it's our month. It's our month, damn it.
It's our month. Because we said so. And then Mercury will be out of retrograde, but not for your birthday, but for my birthday. So we'll be okay.
All right.
Go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to say thanks as always, guys, for joining us. We appreciate you guys supporting us and all that we do. Listen to us on now Facebook, on Spotify. Are we on YouTube at all?
Yeah, we're on YouTube. Right? We're actually live on YouTube right now.
Hell yeah. All right. Live on YouTube. Anywhere you get your podcast, listen to us. We appreciate it. And stay besotted, my friends.
Wait. PM me don't PM me pictures. Drop me a picture of your favorite plant because I need things for my collection.
Grace needs more plants. Andy says no, but yes.
Andy doesn't live here, so I do what I want.
Do what I want. I love it. Sounds like Sam. All right, guys, until we miss out again.
All right, see you guys.